Welcome, my Zentangle friends. My name is Emmy. I'm a CZT, and I'm really tickled to be here with you every day for this month for Gratitangles. It's so much fun, and I am so grateful for so many things, including you and including my ability to be here with you today. So I've been working in this little book, and I've been adding on the back my things I'm grateful for. And I always like to have a sweet look at what I did, and I hope you enjoy that too. And yesterday we did Marnie, and I thought Marnie was a real sweet, sweet pattern, and there's so much to do with it. Today we're going to do 7-flower, and I'm going to tell you what I am excited about and thrilled to be studying with you today. And my gratitude is for loving music. I love every kind of music. Maybe there's a couple I don't love quite as much as others, but anyway, enough of that. So I'm going to start with my 7-flower to show you on this pattern, and it's by Shalini Rajesh. She's from India, and these are my supplies. I'm going to use my 01. I may use my PN pen. I may use my tiny white pencil. We'll see. And I always, of course, have my eraser handy if I need it, even though there are no mistakes, just opportunities in Zentangle. There still is once or twice that I need an eraser. And I've got this for when I need a little extra, gonna think about it. So 7-flower, I don't see any reason why you can't just do this, but you may prefer to do it in pencil first, and that's your choice. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to make myself a pretty long stem like that, and I always do it on a bit of a curve. That's up to you. It doesn't matter. I'm going to come along here and do an aura on my stem. And when I get to the top, I'm going to start my flower, and my flower looks like this, kind of like a heart. Now this is the interesting part. Right at the top of each of these heart pieces, I'm going to come along here and make a comma. It's very tight, actually, right like that. And I'm going to do 2 of them on this, and 1 on each side. It's always muscle memory. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make them fairly tight. Do another. This next one comes kind of off of the first one at the top again. And another tight one. Now I'm going to spread this out. I'm going to go quite a bit lower, like here even, on each of this. And I'm going to make a wider one, which still has the same shape as that first one. It's an out and then back in tight. And the next one, I'm going to get that a little bigger for you. I'm so sorry. Next one goes high again, up on top of that other one that I had. So I'm going to do 2 more. One on that side, one on this side, and you see how it's getting thicker down below. Next one is going to be on high again. And that's about all I have room for on this flower. It's very possible to make it even wider, which you could. You could go wider, but then it starts to look a little weird to me. So, experiment with it. Give it a try. I'm going to do a series of very light lines down the middle. And then I'm going to do some lines in this wider one that I had over here. And I think I'd like to do another one of these with you. So let's do another one right on here. I'm going to come off of here like this. I'm going to lift my pen because this one's going underneath. Make an aura line, a second line to the first, nice and tight. If you want to, you could just keep on going because you know that you're going to this heart shape like that. And then when I have this, that's when I'm going to start right here on the top of the heart on each side, and I'm going to make an aura line up and out and return. Again, up, out and return, up, out and return. This is getting a little thicker on one side than the other. The next one is where I come down quite a bit lower, but it's the same out and return. Out and return. And then this one, the next two are going to be high again. So I'm putting on top, I'm putting my line to follow. And these are quite tight and quite small. I think this is so sweet, don't you? Awesome. Let's make this a little different. This time I'm going to darken in between, but I'm going to leave a little space, like a little in Zentangle, they more or less call this sparkle. I'm going to do that over here too. Sometimes if I want to have sparkle in a certain spot, which I do, I'll go on either side and then darken up and darken down. Now, no one's to say that you couldn't do that in the middle too, but I think it gets pretty weird looking. But anyway, you should do it if you like. Give it a try and see how it turns out for you. With this, I probably am going to put a couple of, maybe a couple muka. Remember how to do muka? So I'm going to come off down here, make that shepherd hook, and then come back down here and tight at the bottom, and that has kind of a cool neck on it. I think I'd like to make another one in here. Shepherd hook, tight, and down. And I'm going to make one the other direction. Tight, like a big C, almost an O that's closed. And back down. And so I kind of built myself a little bit of an arrangement here. One more thing that I would like to do is put a heart here. So I'm going to come along here like this, put a frown on it, and then make a heart. And I think that just finishes it off real sweet. So I'm going to cap my pen and I'm going to grab my blender stump. Oh, I'll grab my pencil first. And I'm going to darken this first stem here. I'm going to put a smile in each of these mukas, right like that. On this 7 flower, I'm going to put a little bit of shading on the inside because I want this to have the illusion of being folded. You can do that here too. On the inside, because I want this to have the illusion of a fold, and this may or may not show up very well. It's very small. Very sweet. And I would like to do a little shading on the side of that. And this is the other big stem I have, so I'm going to come down here on that stem. And then I'm going to grab my blender stump and start smudging. This has become one of my favorite patterns very quickly because it's just so easy to do and so much fun. Now, there's more shading you can do, but I intend to go on and finish up. I think I'll underline that. Excuse me, so I can keep track of it. And grab my calendar. And I'm going to put this 7 flower right in here. And remember, I mentioned to you yesterday that I downloaded this calendar with all of them on it, and that's on the Gratitangles 2024 site. And so I've just downloaded it. I'm going to add her name here. And then I'm going to put that on the back of this calendar. And then I don't have to do numbers, which I don't, for some reason, don't want here. I don't want numbers on this calendar. So I'm going to start in the corner. And I'm going to bring a kind of a longish line. Let me take it back out again so you can see that better. That's much better. Okay, and then an aura line. Make a bit of a heart here. And then remember from the top, I'm going to make something that kind of auras or replicates that heart. Certainly it folds itself on it, doesn't it? And here's another. How sweet. Okay, this one, remember, goes down quite a bit further. And then these go up on top again. Now, I'm not saying this won't need practice. It will. And that's tight. And I have seen, when I Googled this, I have seen lots and lots of variations where people have done more out, but I just kind of think that starts to look a little bit weird. So this is where I'm going with this today, but I will do a second one here. Do the heart. Two of these. And then the low one, which is wider than the first two. And then the high one, two high ones again. And that is going to have to go behind. I quite like that look when it goes behind, though. I hope you do too. And one more go behind. Yep, and it's going to come out here. There. Now I'm going to put something in the middle here. And I really do like the look of this. So you may want to do one of each. Who can say nothing is wrong? Do it the way you like. You might have some comments or wanting to share on this one. But if you type in Zentangle pattern, or Zentangle patterns and 7 flower, you'll come up with some other interesting ways to do this pattern. Or go to tanglepatterns.com. That's also a fun way. Now grab your pencil. Where's my pencil? Here you are. Come back. Okay, one side of the stem needs shading. Inside of that base of the flower needs shading. And I really don't have enough room for too much more here, so I'm just going to do the outside edge. I bet you'd even like to see that, haha. There, one side. And blender stomp. Going right over that first one with my shade. And that's about all the shade I would intend to put on here. You can certainly do more, especially here. I might actually do a little more. There is a great book about shading, probably several, but the one that always comes to my mind is a lady named Chris Latorno, and she's a CZT. I met her in Rhode Island when I was trained, and she does a beautiful book about shading and how to shade. So I hope you enjoyed today's facilities, and I hope you come back tomorrow. Let's see if I can shrink this down a little bit. There we go, so that you can see it. I hope you share it. I hope you enjoyed it, and please come back again. Like and subscribe the channel. I'd appreciate that very much. I'm Emmy, and you're on Zen with Emmy. So, hope to see you soon. Bye.